Right. Now, if I'd got this all set up correctly, this should pop up on everybody's window. And you may have to manually put it as full screen. Can everybody see a window with a video about to play?
Correct.
Yes, prologue.
If I make it full screen, is it already full screen at your end, or have you got to manually do it?
No,
I can
I have to
manually do it.
Okay, I'll let you all manually do it. And I'll press play in just a moment. Here we go. Hope you enjoy.
Hooray!
Super choppy.
Really? It's absolutely fine with me.
Huh.
Nah, it's really choppy for me too. Where's this playing from? Is this on the server?
Yeah.
That'd be why then, if we're all trying to stream it at the same time.
If I don't do it full screen, it runs fine.
Oh,
Ooh, fancy.
okay. Consider me intrigued.
Hmm.
Indeed.
If you have a little wander around there and hover over, you'll see all of your original characters there.
Indeed.
Bear in mind, this is now 1935. Julian, as the American in the group, you can do this a lot more justice than I can. I'm going to share this screen with just you now. And if you would be so kind as to give it your best noir-style accent and voice, I would really appreciate it, please.
Absolutely. Am I close? Oh, okay.
So
Wait.
you want to be pressing 1, which you said Bucket of Blood Saloon on there. And give it
I'm
a
just
read.
I'm reading what's beneath it there.
Yeah, in a full-on 30s noir style, please.
Sure. Can you give me a once over to read it myself, and then I can
Yeah, sure.
apply it?
You need a proper gruff voice.
Indeed.
For the guy at the end. And for the benefit of those watching this back on the stream, here's
I've
question.
got on your screen. I can't see any model tokens on here.
No.
Can anyone see any tokens?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
So I've not
Just
given
down.
video owners. 1 second. Let me just delete them, put back on again. 1 second.
It might be because we have new tokens. They're classed as different owners.
Yeah,
Over
exactly.
here, putting old ones in.
Prologue. Figure ownership.
Oh, the
Do
wonders
average.
of post-editing.
Figure ownership. Yeah, I definitely did do it. You've got all the ownership on there. Let me. If I instead do it as configure ownership, all players, observer, configure ownership, observer.
All right.
1 second, please, Julian. Okay, right. Hopefully that should enable you all to see.
Nope.
No? No.
Nada.
Well, in
Nope.
that case, then I'll just do it this way and show you each of your characters. So we've got Connor.
Oh wow.
Oh.
It still struggles with hands.
Abigail. Jackson.
Jackson looking fresh.
Are we looking at a video? What are we? I'm missing something.
I'm just showing you the updated characters in 1935. Here's Shiloh.
Oh wow.
I can't see it. Only the thing that I'm reading here. Oh, there we go.
Ernest.
Shiloh's got a Gates McFadden thing going on.
She has a bit, hasn't she?
Mm.
And last but not least, the oldest member of the group, Grayson.
Yeah, boy.
Let me see Jackson. I didn't get to see him.
Grayson looks like a fucking Stan Lee kind of dude.
Like halfway between Stanley and Donald Sutherland.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take that.
So there's Jackson.
Huh. Nice.
Oh, excuse me.
Right, cool. Yeah. Go for it, please, Mr. Noir Narrator.
All right. Let me make sure I got everything on the screen here. It was the kind of cool black night that clung to you like something real. A black, tangible fabric of smoke, deceit, and murder. It was bitterly cold out on the streets. Even the dames working 19th and Main were bundled up. At least the wind had died down for a moment. Miss Nita Cross wandered through the door of my bar like a whore through church, a homey brunette with pins for days and then some. No dame her age could afford a rock like the one she wore. Smart money was on a thoroughly unwholesome lifestyle. She had bad news written on her like the New York Times headline. This dame was all business. Before I could even offer her a cigarette, she let slip that Knives Kennedy went and got himself rubbed out. As I reach for the smokes, she leaves then. Her great-grandmother comes in the other way and sits in the same seat she always did. But tonight, she wasn't sat on her own like usual. This time, within a half hour of her great-granddaughter leaving, Shiloh was joined by 4 men, all of similar age, ancient, and a woman probably half their age, all strangers around these parts. The conversation was hushed, but the drinks flowed, so I wasn't complaining. Must have spent half a month's wages in just over an hour. Then the shit hit the fan. Suddenly, All the cigarette smoke in the whole bar parts as he stands in the doorway. He goes by many names. All I know is the crumb looks that old. He's going to keel over any minute. But the truth is, he's quicker than a cat on cocaine. I've had you on my list for decades, he rasps, a tiny smile tugging at the corner of his decrepit mouth, revealing awful brown teeth. This ain't personal. His jacket blows open almost on cue. They call me the hero killer, he says, but almost with a snarl as he cocks a Tommy gun and puffs out one last plume of cigar smoke. But my name's Stone, and without a single wasted bullet, he plugs all 6 of them straight between the eyes. My bar's got more blood all over it than a slaughterhouse. He turns, winks, pulls his cigar from his mouth, and flicks me a nickel. Sorry about the mess, kid.
So all our guys are dead.
In 1935.
Damn.
We had a good run in. One of about 30 odd then. Back then,
I guess so.
About 80.
It's
Yeah.
October 1881 in Arizona territory. Thank you very much, Julian. With
Of course.
all the trouble from outlaws lately, most folks agree it's safer to be in a town like Tombstone. So here you sit on October 25th in the Oriental Saloon, located at the corner of 5th and Allen, warming yourself with a quick refreshment as the afternoon gets on. Outside it's chilly, a crust of snow on the ground. In here, the air is stale, but the temperature comfortable. Several other patrons, miners mostly, hunch over drinks or play poker in small groups. One table of rowdy ranch hands has been drinking for hours. The unflappable Wyatt Earp runs the faro table. Marshal Virgil Earp leans on the bar, his whiskey untouched. He stares at the pale light coming through the front windows. "They're back," he says. Wyatt glances over. "Who?" "Ike Clanton," says Marshal Earp. "Tom McClory. Spring wagon just passed. They're both healed, I'll wager." Wyatt Earp excuses himself from the faro table, and his assistant steps in. Virgil downs his whiskey. The Earps barge through the Oriental's batwing doors and leave them swinging. I should point out a reminder to those of you who have not read the fluff, or who weren't aware of one of the rulings of Tombstone of this particular era, is that there is a distinctly no firearms in town rule. So your firearms, if anybody has any, are currently behind the bar in the Oriental Saloon. It is illegal to be carrying a firearm in public.
Not a sword, correct?
Unless it's a firearm.
Cool.
I think it said lethal weapons.
Nope. Firearms. So the idea being that if you go around brandishing a sword, Hiryuki, then that would be illegal. But it's not illegal for you to carry it, where it is illegal to carry a firearm.
Oh.
Make sense?
Yep.
Cool.
I just see the picture you're giving to my horse.
Yeah, for those of you who've not seen.
I've seen Regner. Yeah, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Someone's got a crazy horse.
A drunken ranch hand, thin but wiry, sways up from his chair. He's over here. "Them Earps is a bunch of high-toned city slicker bastards," he shouts. "And taking our guns is a load of horse shit. Am I wrong?" His friends laugh. The bartender, Ned Boyle, shakes his head. "Calm down, Bixler. Lower your voice. Lower your voice." "No, I will not curtail my speech. It's too much, is all. All these tin-horns." And he points right at you, Miles. Sneering in contempt. "Ain't there no way to be shut of them?" And he walks up to between yourself and Dagny, who's at the side of you, and just starts launching into personal tirade. Oh, what's this? You can't get a real man. You got to turn to some yellow bastard like this guy. Looks round and points at you, William, as in the older William. Says, I heard your accent too. You're not from round these parts, are you? Talking to you, boy.
It appears your wisdom is not completely devoid of your mind. Comes a voice drawling from beneath the black straw hat, hiding the face underneath it.
Nice hat. Your mama make that for you?
It's amazing
No,
how you suddenly grow a pair of balls when the lawmen leave.
I have not been in your country for long, Round Eye, but as far as I am aware, it is rather discourteous what you're doing. Please allow us to continue enjoying our drinks, and perhaps sit back down.
He is going to make a taunt roll, and it's going to be opposed by your spirit roll.
Mine?
Yes, as well as William and Dagny, because he's insulting all three of you. So if I target Hiroyuki to start with, and then make the roll, it should
Wait.
then...
What are we rolling? Spirit.
This is a taunt roll of 10. So yes, all three of you have got to make a spirit roll and try to beat 10 to keep you calm.
Nope.
Definitely not.
I think I might use a Benny. Oh, I don't have any, do I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try a Benny.
3.
Nah.
You need one as well, please, Wal.
What? I
Just-
thought I did roll.
No,
Oh.
I've got Hiroyuki, I've
No.
got Dagny,
Yeah.
and Hiroyuki again.
Okay. Oh, I didn't actually click
Yeah.
roll. That's why I pressed the button and then dice rolled, so I just assumed that was mine.
Fair enough. Yeah, so he's gotten under all three of his skin. So you've not lost it. I'm not going to insist that you strike a blow, but I am going to insist that all three of you come back with some kind of taunt.
Yeah.
Because he's insulted you that much. So we'll start with yourself, Miles.
His shoulders roll. His face is completely hidden beneath that black hat. He's definitely trying to keep himself, despite his evident attire that he's a foreigner from across the ocean. He's trying to make himself as small of a presence as possible, but his back straightens at Bixler, and he lifts the shot of whiskey under his hat, and it comes back down empty. Now, I've seen you around these parts a few times. You are usually slower than this. It seems alcohol has given you a burst of speed and wit, so to speak. Perhaps use some of that wit to perhaps sit back down before you do something really foolish.
I don't need to sit down, boy. You're the one to sit down.
I insist.
No. Let's look at it this way. You're a lot closer to the ground than I am, aren't you? And what about you, whore? He's talking to you, Dagny.
Dagny's just. Dagny's just gonna finish her shot. She's been having quite a few of them, like shots of whiskey. Hand up, swaying a bit. Look at him. I mean, she's fairly tall for a lass, like long hair. Blouse probably could be fastened up more. I suppose she could be considered beautiful, but there is a lot of tiredness, like under the eyes and stuff, so maybe once she was beautiful, not at the moment. At the moment, there's a lot of tiredness and stuff. But she looks at him, nevertheless, and goes, with a light Nordic accent, which sadly I can't say, goes, darling, I don't think that you could even stand up to half of the man that I've been with. So why don't you just turn around, shut your mouth, and fuck off?
Getting quite a bit of echo from your microphone. I think you're getting picked up by walls as well. And come back from yourself, please, William.
Well, you're quite right. I'm not from around here. I'm from somewhere where you get educated. So I can count and I can see that there's more of us that are being insulted than the one pathetic individual that's cursing now that the law has gone away.
And with that, these individuals stand up. And Bixer says, "You were saying?"
Hiroyuki swirls his glass. Numbers does not account.
Sorry, go on here. Numbers do not account what?
Numbers do not account for better odds.
And with that, the fists start flying. This is not a traditional combat. Rather, it's to be considered a dramatic task. So, that being said, we're all going to be drawing action cards as normal. So, I'm going to put us on the combat encounter. And we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And should be on there. And what will happen here is you get to decide, bear in mind you don't know each other yet, you get to decide whether or not you wish to act yourself or help out somebody else and add to their value. I've just put the one ranch hand token on here, and that is to represent everybody.
I will help out Dagny because I do
it's
know her.
Not your action yet, necessarily. You will notice as well that, Julian, that has worked. You'll notice that Julian is not on here at the moment.
He's the
for
cat.
reasons that should become available. And we shall draw these cards now. So we start off with Dagny. So, you want to get involved in the brawl, or do you want to help someone else brawl? If you're making a brawl, then you need to be making a fighting roll at -2. The only thing I need to be stating here is compadres fighting in a group make cooperative fighting rolls to aid the leader, so you add 1 to their roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna be helping
But if you draw a club, a complication has occurred. And so that means that Rob and Yeva, there's a complication occurred on your turn. So to start with, Dagny, as you stand up and you've just given him what for and told him to fuck off, you go forward to potentially put some distance between yourself and Bixler Tate, and as you do that, the cat in the bar runs straight through your legs and you stumble over the cat. And then the cat then darts through Bixler's legs and ends over here.
Fair enough. Yeah, but I will
So
assist.
that being said, you're going to assist who?
Hello?
Hello?
What?
You're going to help Hiroyuki. Okay. So you need to be making a fighting roll, which is at -4 because of you tripping up over the cat.
I mean,
you're not going to be actually involved with the fight. It's just to see if you're successful. You'll help Hiroyuki.
Oh no.
So no, that's fail. Yeah. So yeah, you've gone to stand up and you tripped up over the cat and you've lost your balance, but you're not falling on your face. You're just falling over, a bit drunk, a bit stumbling over the cat, and yeah, then all of a sudden you are regain your composure.
Probably hear Ragnar, my horse outside, having a little horsey laugh.
Yeah,
just
you
like
fucking
that.
idiot.
Okay, the Ranchans have collectively got 1 success. When someone gets to 5 successes as a team, you win. Okay, so the Ranchans are on 1 success. Hiroyuki, what do you want to do?
He sense that as someone's trying to attack him, his Bix are coming straight for him.
It's a whole brawl. So it's Ranchans with you, Bixler with you, the Ranchans amongst itself, the miners at the other end of the bar are all starting on each other, and it's all one big melee. So are you getting involved,
he's getting involved.
or are you helping someone else? You're getting
He's
involved.
getting involved.
Yep.
So
make a fighting roll at -2.
-2.
You'll notice I didn't make the -2 for the Ranchans because it's counteracted by the fact that they're all helping one another. Oh!
Oh my word!
I think that's a hit.
So it is 4 is a success, and then 8 becomes 1 raise, 12 becomes 2 raises, 16 becomes 3 raises. So that means as a group already, Hiroyuki has earned you 4 successes. So you've stood up on your feet. This round eyes has given you some lip, and you've immediately laid 3 of them out.
Yeah, he starts off by kicking his stool straight into one's leg with a massive thwack of wood on bone. The second guy gets an elbow straight in the diaphragm, and then the final guy does a very clumsy punch, which Hiro slaps out of the way and gives a very Japanese right cross straight into the face and knocks him on his ass. And the hat stays on.
William Kidd. What do you want to do, little Willie? Are you getting involved with the brawl? Are you helping out? Or are you scarpering? You've got a club, haven't you, as well? So yeah, during that time then, because you've got a club, that means a complication's occurred. So what do you want to do? And then I'll tell you what the complication is.
So he was just going to stay away, make his way out, something like that, until that Bixler Tate started having a go at Dagny, and he just cannot tolerate that kind of abuse towards. Presumably, the guy to my right, as I'm looking at it, is someone in the fight.
Yep.
Right. He's going to start swinging and missing, probably.
Okay.
Edge on the block.
So in that case, then you would be fighting -2 normally, but the bar stool that knocked into this guy here, or one of the guys near you, has caused him to fall into you. So just as you're about to join in and presumably punch or kick someone, the guy in question falls on you. So it's fighting at -4 rather than -2, please.
That'll do it.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Nice. Yes,
Yeah,
Rob.
yeah, still a success. Fantastic. So yeah, what's happening then? The guy's fallen onto you. What are you doing? Is he literally you're seizing up to maybe trip him up or something like that? Bear in mind you are only 11 years old. You get sized up to do something, then unexpectedly he falls towards you. What are you doing?
So as the guy falls towards me, I just lean back and right elbow comes up into the guy's jaw and just clocks him right under the jaw, knocking his head right back.
Fantastic.
And then his weight on top of me.
Okay.
That's everyone then, isn't it?
And then another guy then jumps over literally onto the table and then jumps off onto the table like he's a wrestler on top rope. He's in midair. What are you doing? How are you taking him out? Rob?
It's still Kid's turn.
Because he's
Yeah.
got two.
I'm just
success-
attacking the
two
guy
raids
next
or
to me.
so. Yeah. No. It's a brawl. It's not a traditional combat. So I want you to describe to me how you're taking
Coming
the
on
second
top
guy
of
out.
Which second guy? I don't see who that is.
It doesn't matter. It's a
I
full-on
think
brawl.
it would
This-
be
this
the
here.
guy.
Forget the relative location of people. It's a full brawl. Yep. So you've taken one guy out, as you
All right,
detailed.
okay.
A second guy jumping off a table at you. How are you taking him out?
Okay.
You're literally in mid-air as we speak.
See,
How
I'm
you
going
taking him out?
to scooping up the, and going to swing that upwards into the guy jumping at me.
You cut out there. You scooping up and sweeping it upwards.
And hopefully it will connect with something vital.
Yeah. Sorry. You cut.
The guy that I've just knocked out.
Yeah.
I'm picking that up off the floor and raising that up. Yeah.
You're breaking up, Rob.
Yeah. I think there's an issue with your connection there. Your end, Rob. You keep breaking up. You said you're scooping something up and putting it in his direction. What is he scooping up?
The stool.
Oh, the stool. Thank you. Right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
The
stool. Yep. Fantastic. Yep. So he's coming come towards you midair. You pick the stool up and you just simply lob it in his face, knocking him out. Bosh. And then Bixler and William don't even get to act. William, you're just sat there minding your own business when all this brawl is going on behind you. Marvelous.
Well, on my turn, I'll just pick up the bottle and pour everybody another drink.
As the table then gets broken in front of you, and you're left with two shot glasses in one hand and a bottle in the other.
Okay.
And then someone falls to the table unconscious.
Oh.
Agnes just gonna stumble straight back to the table and grab the glass that William's just poured and start drinking that.
Fantastic.
Hiroyuki stands up with a bit of a sway. He spits some blood onto the floorboards and rearranges his hat. He mutters something in his mother tongue, which no one will probably recognise before you can assume it's some kind of Eastern language. Before he grabs a stool that may or may not have a leg missing, and sitting down with it next to in his old spot.
Cool. Julian, don't forget to message me about how you want to make your entrance, please. I got your last message, by the way. Now, Bixler is the one who got thrown through the table and is unconscious as the table's broken underneath his weight. And as he's unconscious, you can see his jacket's open, and he's wearing a pale red bandana around his neck, which you can gather from the discussion amongst the locals identifies him as to have connections and associates within the cowboy gang. They're all identifiable by the red sash that they wear. And swiftly, he and his cronies disappear from the Oriental Saloon with their tail between the legs. So you shift tables, and to one that's not broken. If you want to have a chat, feel free.
Yeah. God, I thought I'd got a language, but no.
I may have. Yeah, I think I've missed it off. You're at D4 for Chinese, I believe.
Yes.
Hiroyuki would sit down and just reach out and grab a glass and start drinking from it.
Yeah, I'll come over here and I'll just start pouring into people's glasses.
Hiro would respectively put his hand over the glass. He's going to drink at his own pace.
Okay. Well, it's there if you want it. When you want it.
I believe I used
I'm
to
not
go
sure
by the
that
notion of if I wanted.
little Willie's going to be drinking that stuff.
Oh, that Rob?
I said, I'm not sure that little Willie will be drinking that rot gut.
It's the finest.
He is only young.
It's all right, lads. I'll just drink for all of us.
Well, like the trip over, Danny. It's just a bottle between the two of us.
Oh, well, is it just the bottle?
There's a black cat rubbing itself up against your leg, Hiroyuki. I think the cat might want feeding.
He
Look at
sniffles.
a black cat rubbing himself against me in real life.
He sniffles and reaches down to politely walk his two fingers on the cat's head in a stroking gesture.
Seems to like that.
Yeah, he'd give it that gesture for a few seconds before he'd lightly pat it, like, gently push at his cheek with the back of his hand. Like say, right, you've had enough. Go on, leave me alone.
I literally gave you the order from the app.
And I read the order. They didn't. I think she missed this.
So, does anyone want to discuss what's just occurred with that brawl? Does anyone want to discuss the current situation? Are you happy to just sit there in silence drinking?
And Hiroyuki would sit back for a moment and he'd break the silence with a very stoic grunt. You'd have thought the removal of black powder would have stilled the tempers of some of the people in this part of the town. Seems you can't take away a man's fists, I suppose.
It was on the rack.
Once a bully, always
We
a
got to
bully.
the fridge, but it's almost gone.
Sounds like someone's wanting to put someone on a rack.
Soon after, Wyatt returns and makes his way to the bar, whereupon Ned, you can hear him, he's telling him about the brawl and the fact that it was Bixler and his associates that caused it. And he points over to you as a collective. And it's quite evident that Nate's saying that you guys helped to break it up. And then Wyatt makes his way over and speaks to you collectively and says, I understand you've assisted with some of the cowboys that we had in earlier.
Hiroyuki sits back and is more than happy to let the fellow Americans do the talking for this one.
He tipped his hat at you as well, Hiroyuki. Obviously,
Yes,
he's
sir.
had dealings with you in the past.
Mhm.
And then he looks at you, William Kidd, and says, William, you're keeping in trouble as usual, I see.
Yes, sir. Can't be having men being bullies towards women.
Well,
It's
I'm
just not-
appreciative of anyone that's spoke up in my favour and helped thrash Bixler Tate and his malcontents. That kind of buckaroo rises in my estimation, and with that he opens a box of 6 cigars and sets it on the table. Help yourselves, compadres. We could use your help. You look to have suitable skills to keep the peace, and things may come to a head soon, very soon. With that, he discusses the situation no further and goes back to the bar. The cat has
Take mine
gone
and put it in a bucket.
underneath Hiroyuki's stool to William and jumped on your lap, William, with your nice best suit on. Suddenly got a black cat sat on your lap.
Well, I'm not sure what to do in these situations. I'll be honest, but I'll pet it a little bit and then tap its ass to move it. Well,
With that, it leaps from your lap onto William's lap.
well, I don't know about you three. Well, I don't know about you two.
I will
and
start
I'll
petting,
look at.
petting the cat as if I know the cat very well.
Yep,
Hold my
and
hand
it does
out and
that typical
start petting.
cat thing of shoving its arsehole in your face. Get out.
Just start rubbing both.
And then jumps off you and then lands on your lap, Danya, and starts kneading your thighs with its needle-sharp claws. It's not hurting, just a little bit gentle. Literally getting a feel for you.
Looks like you've started early tonight, Danny.
Oh, well.
But as I was saying, and I'll look at Kid and Hiroyuki, I don't know about you two. Well, I'm not the fighting kind. I can assist with any injuries that you may have. So, depending on what Mr. Earp here, I believe it is having planned, I'll not be able to assist greatly in deterring any incidents that come along. But I should hopefully be able to assist afterwards.
Hiroyuki sets down his drink. He seems to be a fan of taking long moments before he speaks, before he nods. I can fight if I must. I prefer not to, but it can be done.
Samuel, you come out of your room. You're top of the stairs. You should be able to see your token on there now, Julian. There you go. What you can see. There's 4 folk who you don't recognise down on the table to the side of you. They're all sat around talking, drinking, and there's a box of cigars open which no one's touched yet. You guys, you can see a Native American man. However, he's dressed in very much your clothes. He's embraced the clothing style of a white man. But as you can see when I show you his picture, you can see he's still got some traditional Native American garb on him, and he's got bright white hair, and also wears white face paint. But he's wearing white man's boots and jeans.
Man, he's scary.
I'll turn to the young boy at the side of me and say, if we were to take these cigars, does that mean that we accept his proposition to help him? I'm not long in this
I don't
country,
think so,
I
mister. I think he's just saying thank you, but he might come talk to us later.
don't. Okay then. I'll take one out and clip the end and do you partake in the cigars, Master William?
Oh, I'll
I believe it is?
save mine for later. Well,
Okay.
Willie the kid. Willie kid.
Okay, I'm also William.
Oh, hey! What a shocker! 2 of us.
Yeah.
Can I ask,
Did he-
Mister, where are you from? With that,
I'm from Scotland. I've travelled a
Scotland?
bit. Yeah,
Is that like on the East Coast?
it's a bit further east than East Coast.
Further east? You mean
Yeah, over the
over
seas.
the
Yeah,
pond?
yeah,
Oh wow! You come a long way, Mister.
yeah.
How
I'm
about you,
just
ma'am? Where are you from?
He's been catching the cat under the chin all this time while
The cat's not there.
oh, I thought it was still there. Okay, yeah, never mind. Lifting her glass, she just looks at Willie the kid and just goes, "Oh well, I'm from across pond as well, but a bit farther away than William. I'm from Sweden."
Wow! Who would have thought you'd come all the way out here to Tombstone? Two foreigners in foreign land, landing here in Tombstone. That's wild.
I dare say it's
And
three
turns to
foreigners.
turns to the
Yeah.
third person at the table and sort of tilts his head and goes, I don't recognize your kind as Mister.
You can't count. There's 3 foreigners.
Yeah, I'm saying he turns
Yeah.
turning to the
Yeah.
third person at the table other than him. Says,
Yeah.
it doesn't know where he's from at all.
The little kid is looking at
You've got east, further east, and far east.
You're a
Exactly.
strange looking Mexican, mister.
While you're continuing this conversation, then, guys, Julian, can you please make me a streetwise roll?
The kid is staring at a very, very foreign-looking garbs and clothing. It's long, flowing robes that seem to tie over each other. Yeah, pretty much like that. Only what's not in the picture is covering his face is a large, wide-brimmed hat, and it seems to be made out of straw. And more importantly, it looks like it's almost been oiled black. The most the kid could see is just below the nose. He idly shrugs a left shoulder, and he goes, I'm far away from these parts, little one. You could say it is across the pond, as you put it. He seems to be choosing his words, like he's not quite sure they are what they mean, even though his command of the English language is pretty decent. He still seems quite unsure of how he speaks it.
It's good to meet you all. I'm Willie Kid. I was born and raised here in Tombstone.
Julian, can you make that streetwise roll, please?
Can you not hear me? Hello?
We can now.
I only
No,
have
we can.
I only have notice and smarts. I don't have
Yep.
street
Yep,
smarts.
You don't have streetwise, so you just need to make an unskilled roll.
Unskilled.
Streetwise is a talent, an edge even. Sorry.
In fact, yeah, good point. Sorry, yeah, it's I'm going off the old data right now. Sorry.
Yeah.
You pass it anyway. That's fine,
Yep.
not a problem. I was going to say make me a persuasion roll, but that's fine. You've gathered within a few moments of talking to Wyatt as well as some of the local miners what's happened. You've heard about the brawl that's gone on a moment ago. And it seems why it's so concerned is because it seems that Ike Clanton, the leader of the cowboy gang, exchanged heated words with Doc Holliday at the Alhambra Saloon. Ike promised he'd be coming for them all tomorrow, and that he'd be ready come morning, as in tomorrow morning. Danny, you've overheard some of this conversation. You don't know who any of these people are, but it does pique your interest. Some fact that there seems to be something about to go down, and hearing these names and hearing the fact that someone said he's going to be coming for them all tomorrow, and they'll be ready come morning. Don't know if you might be able to speak to anybody, find out who these people are, or if you want to ignore it completely. It's up to you.
I mean, she is going to. I need to just check something. She's going to get up from the table and, go to the bartender. And in doing so, she is going to try and swaying a bit because she's had quite a few to drink. And when she gets there, she's going to go and say to the bartender, "Can I have a bottle, please, of a bottle of whiskey? Another one, please."
Yeah. Do you want the good stuff or the not so good stuff?
Not so good stuff. It's actually from a horse.
With that, he says, "You mean that horse?" And he points behind you. As you turn around, you can see your horse is actually nuzzled its head through the window and is licking the spilt beer from the bar fight earlier off the floor.
Oh. Suppose he's taken care of.
Oh, you've got an alcoholic horse a little bit.
This horse has got his priorities on straight.
Yeah.
It's literally got its hind legs in the street and its forelegs are on the window ledge, and its head's nuzzled under the window, as the window tilts inwards, and he's
I suppose. Well,
drinking up all the beer.
he's taking care of that itch. I'll have a bottle of the good stuff for myself, please. Thank you.
A bottle of the good stuff will set you back $6, please.
Yeah. And while she's there, she's
Don't
gonna
forget
go.
to knock it off your balance.
Yeah, I've done that now.
Thank you.
What is this the issues that were mentioned? I'm fairly new in town, so just trying to. What is the English word for it? Yeah, something like. Find out what's happening.
Well, a little bit of background. So this following conversation takes place between yourself and Ned, and a few interjections by Wyatt. They say Tombstone eats a man for breakfast each morning. That ain't too far from the truth, amigo, and it's getting worse with every meal. When last we visited the boomtown, it served as Bayou Vermilion's western railhead, as well as a prime destination for Ghostlock raiding mule trains from the Great Maze. The cowboys were a persistent nuisance, but Hank Ketchum and his Texas Ranger posse held them at bay, and Marshal Fred White was able to keep the peace with his deputy's help. Things started going bad in 1880 in the wake of the Battle of Los Angeles. The Bayou Vermilion line already ran as far as Railhead, California, where LaCroix's bid to win the rail wars ended violently. That's when Bayou Vermilion upped the ante and started laying track all up and down the San Pedro River Valley, linking all the towns and gold, silver, copper and ghost rock mines north and south of Tombstone. They brought the cowboys to heel by officially hiring them as rail enforcers. In October, Curly Bill Brocious, which a reminder he's the leader of the cowboys, shot Marshal Fred White to death, a killing that Wells Spicer's court ruled accidental. Ketchum rode in with his posse as always and kept the peace, but he couldn't arrest the cowboys, especially not with them on Bayou Vermilion's payroll. When Wyatt Earp and his brothers arrived in town, Virgil Earp was soon appointed marshal. Ketchum's disappearance and the Earp's smouldering feud with the Cowboys has set up the stage for an epic conflagration. Everyone in Tombstone waits for the other shoe to drop. So that's the current situation and why the Cowboys are so influential within the area.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously Dagny's gonna try and prod for the information about what to occur the following morning.
Yeah, he's heard that Ike Clanton, the leader of the Cowboy gang, exchanged heated words with Doc Holliday at the Alhambra Saloon.
Yeah.
He promised that he'd be coming for them all tomorrow and that he'd be ready come morning.
Mentioned I am new in this area, so there's gonna be a shootout of sorts.
And Wyatt says, "Oh, don't know. We'll see." Ike's often blows hot air.
Oh. Well, Dagny's gonna collect the bottle and say, "Well, thank you for the bottle," and return to the table. And as she opens up the bottle and pours another drink for herself, passes the bottle to William, not the kid one.
Samuel, with that, Wyatt turns to yourself and says, "Could be the way in there. Maybe want to have a word with that group and get them on our side. The last thing we want is more reinforcements for the Cowboys."
I will. I'll nod at him. Hold on a second. I don't know if you recall, Wayne. You and I had a conversation back on May 22nd.
Fuck. No.
Yeah, I figured. We didn't nail it down, but there was a link to possibly Wyatt.
Yep. Just
Okay.
looking on our chat.
Don't know if you recall, 3 months ago, but we said, "I ain't no one's bitch."
While you look that up, I'll just make a note that Dagny's going to be just sort of, while she's having her newly acquired drink, reconvening the information to the rest of the...
Yes, I've got that here.
Sadly, I was at work, so I never got to finish it.
Yep.
But I will do that with the background for
Yep.
putting that in. So then, okay. So then I will take a drink from the bartender and then walk over to the group.
Go for it. Should be able to move your token. And,
Yeah.
Yep. So you guys are all having a drink, and I believe the only person to actually help himself to a cigar so far has been the older William.
No, I took one and put it in a pocket.
Yeah, I'm partaking as in lit one up. I mean,
Oh, you mean like actually smoking it?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, then this Native American gentleman arrives, and how tall are you, Samuel?
He's probably 5'9", 5'10".
Fairly tall for the time period.
Yeah.
Not a mountain of a man.
No, actually rather lithe, but wiry.
Yeah, make your appearance then, Samuel.
I'll actually sort of nod to Hiroki first. He's the only non-white, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So like I'll give him a nod, and just to sort of not sort of verbally show that I'm acknowledging him first, but with body language, acknowledging him first as a non-white.
Mm-hmm.
And then just sort of pivot, sort of diagonally to the table. It appears Mr. Earp believes that we could benefit from each other's skills.
Okay. In what manner? Sorry, I'm William, by the way. So my name is William, not William, by the way. The name is William Upper.
I'm Samuel Whitecrow.
I am Hiroyuki Sakai.
What
What skills?
tribe are you from?
Oh, was that a me?
Yeah.
He doesn't make any gesture. He just kind of sits still at that. He's not quite sure what you mean by that.
I will sort of place my hands on my chest and say, Sue, and then sort of gesture at him, but then gesture to them, white people.
He follows
What
the
tribe are you?
gesture. He follows the gesture, and the gears in his head turn for him before he finally realizes, and he goes, "None from around here."
You are a far traveler?
Very far, yes.
He nods contemplatively.
And I'm Dagny Hesse. And as she's saying it, she's waving her already half empty glass around and eyeing Samuel up and down, sort of. You look quite exotic.
Look
Exotic.
quite what?
Exotic.
Ah,
Exotic, sorry.
no worries.
When you're waving your glass around, you do catch a sight at the window over here, which is now as wide as it will get, and the horse has now got its two front legs inside the saloon, drinking as much spilt beer as it can do. No one seems to be battering an eyelid at this. Everyone's just letting it carry on.
Hey, it's free floor cleaning, so.
Yeah, Julian. Do you want to detail to the group about the cowboys as to why Wyatt wants you to be aware of them? If so, I can detail it for you as though it's coming
that'd be great.
from you. Yeah, cool. So in that case, then Samuel then details about the cowboys as follows. Bit of a background for you. So, Mexican troops killed Old Man Clanton in Guadalupe Pass during a rustling operation in August 1881. Now his son, Ike, leads the cowboy gang, which is composed mainly of his two brothers, Phineas and Billy, Curly Bill Brocious, Johnny Ringo, and the McClory brothers. The cowboys are the biggest, baddest bunch of outlaws in Tombstone, Arizona. As by over millions of official hired guns, they control the town, especially now that Ranger Hank Ketchum's gone missing. Although they sometimes raid the ghost trail, their main criminal occupation is cattle rustling in Mexico. You can always tell a member of the cowboy gang by his red sash. Now, the cowboys permeate every level of life in Koshid County, and very little happens without them knowing about it or having a hand in the situation. They control many of the businesses in the area, including most of Charleston, which is also in Arizona, about 10 miles from Tombstone, whether the business is legal or not. Now, no one's offering a reward for the Clantons yet, but Curly Bill Brocious has a $500 bounty on his head, and Johnny Ringo's is worth $600. So yeah, they are in every vessel of life within Tombstone. There are dozens of them, and that's why Wyatt is keen to make sure any outsiders who visit Tombstone are aware of the situation to ensure that the Cowboys' ranks aren't swelled further. Hence Samuel coming over to detail that, to make sure you're aware of it, and ensure that you're on the law side of, the legal side of the law.
So Hiroyuki shrugs at this and very plainly just goes, he wants us to kill them.
That's not what he's wanting, Julian. No, he just wants to keep the peace and make sure that you don't join them.
Right.
But if they come in here and disrupt the peace, if their lust for dishonor and cruelty and all-around evil pollutes the town, there are no qualms with their lives being taken, surely.
Julian?
I'm sorry, say again.
If they do come in and no, the peace no longer kept, there'd be no issue with their lives being taken. Is that correct?
I mean, one has to defend themselves.
He nods at this and takes another drink. He's content with the answer and doesn't say anything else.
If anybody else got anything to add to the conversation, then feel free. Alternatively, we can wrap up the evening and you can all go to bed. And we can see what happens in the morning if you want. I presume that with the way things are kicking off, everyone's already got either a room in the in the hotel already, or we've already paid for it, etc. I know Samuel and Hiroyuki, you've been here a while. William, you've got special dispensation to stay here because of what's been going on with your parents recently. You basically been taken under the wing and allowed to stay here. But William and Danny, I'm presuming you've beforehand you paid for your room.
Yeah, okay.
You're staying here for the night. So, anyone got anything to discuss before the evening's goes on, wraps up? Do you want to stay up and make a night of it? Do you want to integrate Samuel into your little group you've got going on here, or are you just going to bid him farewell? What's the general feel so far?
So, Samuel, what are the skills?
Willie's going to be quite tired.
What are the
That's his bedtime.
skills?
One more time.
So, what are the skills that Mr. Earp believes that you and us will benefit from? In what fashion?
That's difficult to ascertain from a conversation in a bar. But I assume, due to my commune with the spirits, that I will be able to assist.
With what?
That's the
Assist with what?
Skilled
Sorry.
yet.
I think you mentioned something about communing with spirits.
That's all well and good, but I don't believe I need any answers from any spirits.
No, but if you can
Do
commune with
you?
the spirits, you can then calm the spirits, can't you? And make sure everyone's got a level head, as opposed to violence being the answer.
It's
Chirps in a nearby miner.
it's not uncommon for a white man to believe that he doesn't need to hear from the spirits, but the spirits are all around, whether you want them to be or not.
Okay,
It binds the universe together.
what skills does Mr. Earp believe that we have that will be beneficial to you?
You'll have to ask him. That's not for me to say.
And he's left for the evening now. Okay, well, we'll say you've gone to bed, and you've had a nice evening. If anybody wants to pocket the remaining cigars, then you're welcome to them.
Definitely, if nobody else is taking them.
Knock yourself out.
Oh,
Well,
I
he's
have
taking
every
his one.
intention with the whiskey and stuff.
What was that? Sorry, Will?
I said it. Oh, I have every intention of with the whiskey and other bits and pieces that's here.
Cool.
No. The bottle, you're not going to be allowed to take the bottle because Dagny will have passed you the bottle, but she will have definitely made sure that throughout the evening before the bed, she would have still tucked in, and by the time it was bedtime, it would be empty.
There you go. You smoked one. Young Willie's got the other one, and then you've got 4. I've just put on your sheet there. Then Will.
Excellent.
Okay, so the next morning, the sun is pale and the air frosty. When you wake up and you come down to the ground floor, sorry, it's America, first floor, of the Oriental Saloon, you note the situation beginning to heat up around noon. Because that is when all 3 Earps, NPCs, so all 3 Earps, Virgil, and Wyatt, and Morgan, R.I.P. BPAX.
R.I.P. P-Pax.
Yeah. Arrive at the Oriental and begin to formulate a plan. You can hear all 3 of them on the adjacent table, which is now being replaced from one out back. And they're all talking about what's gone on the previous day. Dagny, I should say that your horse is fast asleep on the floor outside. It's now midday. It's still fast asleep. William, you've got Nanpu, who's come down to tend to you and see if there's anything that he can get you before he then goes to outside to feed the horses.
No, thank you. I believe everything is fine.
In which case he bids you farewell and goes to see the horses outside. And then Wyatt points in your direction, and with that, Virgil gets up. Bear in mind, Virgil is the lawman of Tombstone. And he comes over, and you can see the star on his chest. And he turns to you all and says, Ike Clanters wandering the streets, all roosted up on cheap whiskey and armed with a rifle. He says he's looking for holiday or an herb. We need to disarm him without a gunfight. Are you in?
I'll look at Virgil and say yes.
Hiroyuki nods. His hand rests upon the smaller sword on his sash.
You say holiday?
He nods.
Doc Holliday?
That's correct.
Then, yeah, well, I'm not a fighter, but I'll help. However,
Who is this Doc Holliday?
is someone that I'd like to speak with.
He's a dentist.
He's a fine gentleman and all.
He's a dentist.
Mm.
He furrows his brows. Dentist?
He fixes teeth, mister.
Ah, he nods. Little Will.
Little Will, are you offering to assist as well?
I'll put my hand on not a gun, but another weapon I'm carrying that is something of use.
In which case, then he swears in any hero who said yes as a deputy, and then sends. So, Dagny, are you in as well? Are you getting sworn in as a temporary deputy?
Oh, I'm not really sure if I can help in any way, but I suppose
You can help find him, surely.
He beats sitting around all day, so sure.
Okay. In which case, all five of you then are sworn in as a deputy, and send you out on your own to find and subdue Ike Clanton. So,
Shouldn't be difficult to
can
find.
you all see this map?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, you are currently here, on the corner of 5th and Allen. That is where the Oriental Saloon is. I would like you all, please, to make notice rolls. This is just to simply wander around town and find Ike Clanton.
Notice.
I think I might have done.
I think I'm surprised I'm not up his ass with this roll. Hang on.
Was you getting confused with my die?
Yeah,
Or,
the 6
Exactly.
purple rolls.
You.
Right, I'm gonna Benny this.
There he is.
Okay.
Okay. Hiroyuki and Samuel and young William, you have all been distracted in some manner through Tombstone. You've not found him. You have been distracted in some way. It's up to you how or why. Miles, how do you think Hiroyuki could have been distracted from his exploits in trying to find Ike?
So he was walking along the path towards the Oriental Saloon, and as he passed by a few houses, something moved in the shadows, which immediately caught his attention. You will know why Wayne gives him his backstory, so he was immediately on edge. And he basically deviated off his path to explore the shadows, only to find, when he finally got there...
Found himself out of town.
Yeah,
Yep, so he found himself out of town. It's taking him an hour to get back.
yeah.
Julian, how's Samuel gotten distracted in Tombstone?
Well, though Samuel sort of embraces with decided curiosity the white man's ways, he's still a stranger in a strange land. And every time he walks into a city, he's always on edge, on guard. And much in the same fashion, whenever there's a quick movement out of the corner of his eye, it causes him to take notice.
Yep, okay. Young William, how about yourself? How you've gone looking for Ike Clanton? You know who he is, you know what he looks like, but somehow you got distracted and maybe got lost. What's happened with William?
So he's had a wander up towards Fremont Street and got distracted by bumping into one of his old friends. It was a young, like someone from his sort of age group.
Fantastic. I love
got
this fact.
talking
You've
to
been
them.
temporarily deputised to do some official work on behalf of the law, and instead found one of your mates and decided to go play tag in the streets.
Hey, hooky.
No, not playing tag. Just just catching up. Just hadn't seen him for ages. And
Cool.
asking him, have you seen Ike? Apparently, he's making his mouth, and I'm trying to find him for deputy.
Fair enough. Dagny, because you failed the roll, instead of you deciding what you've been up to, I'll decide what you've been up to. So, you are distracted by, whether it be on purpose or not, but you have ended up stumbling across the Crystal Palace Saloon. And it is literally next door to the Oriental Saloon. And you've been distracted because lunch is free there, provided it's washed down with an expensive house beer. The place was originally called the Fredericksburg Lager Beer Depot, but the owners decided to spruce the place up with some crystal stemware and big mirrors. So, yeah, you've gone in there because they swayed in by the whole free lunch and an expensive beer. So that being said, I'd like you to cross another $5 off your sheet, please, as you've gone and treat yourself to an expensive lunch.
Mhm.
Did you catch that, Yeva?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you.
She'll have to visit the local bank soon. The group
During
bank soon.
all that, then, William, you have found Ike Clanton. And Ike is... You found him after about 20 minutes, to be honest. It's almost 1 p.m. You found Ike on 4th Street, near the centre of town, brandishing a Winchester and demanding to know where Doc Holliday's gotten to. Now, the last conversation you had with the Earps in the Oriental Saloon, Morgan suggested that you might want to buffalo Ike, that is, pistol whip him unconscious before he kills somebody or hurts himself.
Yes, slight issue. One,
Yeah, I know.
you're not allowed
Yeah.
firearms.
Yeah.
Two,
But you're a deputy, so you
Good
are.
deputy.
two, I don't possess a firearm.
Yes.
Three, even if I did, I wouldn't know how to use it.
Yes. But 4, you have alternative methods to subdue. Do you want to describe to the group what you're doing? Or do you want to message me what's happening?
I just need to have a look at something first. Oh, why won't you let me? I can't see that. Let's have a look there.
For those of you who didn't see it before, this is
Oh.
William Upper.
Right, okay.
Rather well-dressed gentleman.
Yes. Actually, realistic. Yeah, he's Lord William Upper, but don't go by that first bit. Flash. WGM.
Who's your mate that you've discovered then, young Willie?
It's a Not William, but a young lad called Bill. Used to go around playing tag with him, but in this case, just asking him if he'd seen Ike anywhere, and unfortunately not. But then he was like badgering why I want to know. It's like, I'm working with the Earps, being deputized, helping to find one of the cowboys who's making his mouth about trying to kill Doc Holliday. All of a sudden, this other lad is, a mile a minute. What, how, and why, and that's why I'm sidetracked and distracted answering all these questions from this young lad.
And as you're talking about all that lot, you then get the Earps passing you with Ike Clanton, followed by the Scotsman who you met, William. And they come across Allen Street, marching Ike Clanton, who's been captured.
Yeah, there you go then.
Billy's quite impressed. William, yeah, you've seen young William in the street talking to another young lad, and obviously you've done what you've messaged me about, and you've got the Earps and the marching him up back towards the Oriental Saloon. Specifically, it is Wyatt that's got him trying to march him back to Virgil, because obviously Virgil being the official law.
Yeah.
And then a few doors up, you can see Dagny coming out of the Crystal Palace Saloon. Slight little wobble on her.
Hey, little Willie. We've got him.
Big Willie.
Yeah. Hey, Danny, he wasn't in that saloon.
As you come out, yeah, you can then see Samuel and Hiroyuki on the entrance to the Oriental Saloon. And then Virgil and Morgan drag Ike to the courthouse for a hearing with Judge Spicer. Outside the courthouse, Wyatt Earp confronts Tom McClory, asking if he's healed. Tom McClory being one of the cowboys. When young McClory refuses to answer, Wyatt pistol whips him twice in the street, driving the cowboy to his knees. So you all witness this, and afterwards, all the Earps return to the Oriental to regroup. So I presume you guys are doing as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You know the bosses right now.
Yeah.
And you are soon joined by John Henry, also known as Doc Holliday. And the whole town is abuzz with word of today's event. People obviously have heard about Ike getting arrested and taken to the courthouse, and Tom McClory standing up to Wyatt Earp, and Wyatt Earp twatting him at the side of the head twice with his pistol. About 2:30, County Sheriff John Behan storms in, looking extremely perturbed, and he's talking to all of you, so all of you guys, as well as the Earps and Doc Holly all together. Are you aware that a sizable gang of cowboys is gathering near the OK Corral? I've been down there to disarm them. Perhaps you asked too nicely, quips Doc. Behan ignores the gambler, speaking instead to Virgil. We have to be careful how we handle this, Marshal. The cowboys are Bayou Vermilion's employees. You know what kind of pull BV has in this town. For God's sake, Marshal, they'll kill you. They might have pull, said Virgil. But Tombstone don't belong to Bayou Vermilion. It's about time the Baron realised that. Ignoring the dapper Sheriff Behan's protests, the Earps retrieve their firearms from Ned Boyle behind the bar and load them. And with that, Virgil grabs Hiroyuki's firearm and tosses it to him.
Which he catches instantly, and there is no hesitation whatsoever. He straightens his hat, gets up, and is immediately at the Earp's side.
Morgan then slides young Willie's father's rifle to him. Looks like this has been
Grabs that,
shortened somewhat.
checks it, puts it over his shoulder.
And finally, Doc picks up a rather tiny little derringer, admires it, and slides it across to you. Ma'am, I believe this is yours. Dagny.
Indeed it is. Not that I'm very good with it, but I suppose I can always try.
You want to join us? I believe there's something about to go down at the OK Corral, if you wish to join us.
I'll bring my doctor's bag.
I might be better with my doctor's bag as well than with this, but I mean, I can always try.
Cool. There we go.
I assume one of them handed me my pistol as well.
Yes, sorry, of course.
Okay.
You was I was under the impression that you'd just gone and got it yourself.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
All right. So, compared to where you are, can anyone see number 8 on this map?
Yeah, it's there.
Thank you. So that's where.
I'm assuming you was looking for the OK Corral.
Yes. There you go.
It's the big army type place.
Cool.
I wonder why I've got an orange health bar.
It's your bennies.
Oh, okay.
Because you've been slapped around a bit.
So, you 5, Virgil, Morgan, and White Earp, and Doc Holliday advance slowly down Fremont Street, which is this street here. Like angels of death. And as you approach CS Fly's photography studio, Bayhan was right. A whole herd of cowboys had gathered in the lot beside CS Fly's studio. Among them are some familiar faces. Ike Clanton, his 19-year-old brother Billy Clanton, and the brothers Tom and Frank McClory. I do need to remove Sir not appearing in this film. And with it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cowboys. There we go. Could I please get notice rolls off everybody?
Nice.
All right.
So, those who've succeeded, so everyone apart from William then, notice that Ike Clanton, who you arrested yesterday, and Tom McClory, who is here, are not armed. their weaponry presumably remains impounded at the courthouse. But a quick scan of the cowboys tells you that most of the cowboys have revolvers shoved in their belts and some have Winchesters in rifle scabbards on their horses. Doc, Holiday and the Earps step into plain sight, guns aimed, expecting you guys to follow their lead.
Yep.
Hiroyuki clicks back the hammer on his musket and puts it into his shoulder.
Virgil calls out in a clear voice, "Throw up your hands! I want those guns!" And with that, we shall leave it for this evening.